Our story begins deep in the jungles of Slevadoria in a small aboriginal village. The Sims there lived a peaceful life, one in harmony with the land. It was an existence that time seemed to have forgot, though these people would soon learn that their tribe and their land was far from forgotten. On the other side of the world, in the concrete jungles, there lived a Sim named Butch Greenhorn. He was mean and materialistic, and some would even go so far as to call him evil. Unfortunately for the tribal Sims, he had his eye fixed on their land. "This jungle is a gold mine and it's ripe for the taking," he exclaimed with an evil laugh, and soon he was headed to the other side of the world with workers and machines. Greenhorn was expecting this to be an easy job. He had heavy machinery and had even equipped some of his workers with freeze rays, but he would soon find out how wrong he was, because as Greenhorn flew comfortably on his private jet, an environmental activist group from Evergreen Harbor was already in the jungle. Their club was called the Treehuggers, and their leader was Sage Gladstone. Though Sage was a self-assured Sim, he was really more of a romantic. He wanted nothing more than to fall in love, live off the land, and raise a family. In spite of this, Sage knew that the jungle was important and worth fighting for, and when he learned of Greenhorn's plan, him and his club found themselves in the jungle. Sage wasn't quite sure how the people would react to all this. In fact, he didn't know what to expect at all, and when he arrived in the jungle, he found that the evil corporation wasn't going to be his only problem. She was stunning, a virtual vision. Her name was Princess Kiara, and it was love at first sight. The unlikely pair met each night away from the village, but they were soon discovered. It was a forbidden love, but after a few nights filled with crying and pleading from the princess, the chief allowed the couple to marry if their plan to save the jungle succeeded. With the thought of their union at the front of his mind, Sage and the tree huggers changed themselves to the trees, and when Greenhorn and the bulldozer advanced, Sage found that his fear had been replaced by strength. "Boy, you've got 10 minutes to get yourselves and these savages out of here before I knock all these trees down, regardless of whether or not you're still chained to them," the evil Sim shouted. "Oh no, we won't go," the tree huggers began to chant, earning a response of laughter from Greenhorn and his workers. They laughed too soon, though, for Sim's chain to his tree was not their only line of defense. Their shaman had prepared the perfect curse since they had been alerted before the workers got there. And with a wave of his wand and a sprinkle of a potion, a night wrath descended upon the unlucky group of workers. Some of them ran for their life, some of them fell over drained of all energy, but all of the workers lost all control of their bladders, triggering death by embarrassment by all who chose not to run away. They had done it. Not only was the jungle saved, but one Sim's dream was about to come true. The days after that were the best Sage and Princess Kiara had ever known. The tree hugger worked very hard for many days to build his handiness skill, and when he had completely maxed it out, he built his bride a house in the trees that he had once chained himself to. The couple even decided to marry there, in the trees that brought them together, and they lived happily ever after.